So when deciding to lose body fat, the first thing you might want to do is go on the internet and look up advice on what to do to burn body fat. But that's when the trouble starts because you run into a lot of conflicting advice. At least I know for I did. I ran into a lot of conflicting advice and advice that was just straight up garbage that was just useless. In today's video, what I'm going to do is give you guys a framework of what to look out for so you know whether to filter advice, so you know whether it's good or if it's garbage. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jonathan. I went from 250 to 177. I lost over 70 pounds through trial and error. And I make these videos now to give you guys a framework and the tips and stuff that works so you don't have to waste your time on things that don't. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to hop right into it because I don't like to waste time. This first myth, I got this all documented on my computer as well, too. This first myth is something that I heard a lot too when I was like 250 and, you know, just coming up, you just hear other people talk about it. And it is eating late at night makes you fat, right? So I coming up watching like, if my mom was like watching like the Dr. Oz show and stuff like that, I'm like walking past the kitchen, I'd catch it. This is type of stuff that was like pushed out on TV shows like that. Like don't eat past like after 8 o'clock or don't eat past 7 o'clock. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's straight up garbage. It's straight up garbage. Anybody's telling you that, you know, you need to restrict your eating to a certain time. It can work. It's not saying that it's necessarily wrong, but in the overall picture of things, that's not what really causes weight loss is you limiting the time and when you eat. And I'll put it this way. Okay. Fat loss comes down to three things. I'm going to say this first, and I say this in all my videos. Fat loss comes down to three things, and it comes down to your calories, how much calories you consume in a day, your macros, which is protein, fats, and carbs, the type of food you eat, and then the activity that you do, okay? So being that those three things are the main building blocks of all fat loss, you restricting your eating to like, I don't eat at past like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever, guess what? If you still consume 3,700 calories before 8 o'clock, guess what? You're still going to gain weight. It doesn't matter that you stop eating past like 8 o'clock. Even if you eat between the hours of noon and 8 p.m., but if you consume 3,700 calories, guess what, bro? You're still going to gain weight. You're still going to gain weight. It doesn't change anything. You just reduce the window and time frame in which you can eat, which could help you. But again, if you're shoveling a bunch of unhealthy food down your mouth and eating a bunch of high calorie food, it's still not going to make a difference. All right, so since we cleared that up, we know the three building blocks are calories, macros, and activities. Another most diabolical fat loss myth that I've heard is that you can target or spot train fat. Let me tell you something. If anybody on the internet is telling you you can do this core workout to target your belly fat, they're lying to you. It's a straight up lie. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's a straight up lie. It's a good way to get clicks. It's a good way to get liked on the internet, but it's just not true. So I'll put it this way. All right, you can spam as much sit-ups as you want to, and you can stop eating past 8 o'clock all you want to. But again, if you're not consuming the right amount of foods, it's really not going to matter. You can do as much I can say right now, you can do as much sit-ups as you want to. You'll see a little bit result, but you won't lose the body fat that you're trying to lose. The body fat that you're trying to lose that is on your stomach right now, sit-ups are not going to do that. What's going to do that is a calorie deficit. Like I just talked about before, you like tracking those calories, eating less than the maintenance, you getting high enough protein so you can build muscle mass and have enough protein to fuel your body. And then you doing the activities like walking and working out and lifting weights in the gym, right? So that myth number two, that you cannot spot train any type of belly fat, stomach fat, back fat, lower belly fat, lower back fat, it's not true. All right, bring me down to myth number three is, I've heard this like when I was younger, in the text message, I heard this when I was younger. A lot of people used to say it like, oh, bro, you just got to turn your fat into muscle. Now, with all the information out here on the internet, a lot of us know that's not true, but I still hear people saying this. So I put this in there as well too, that, okay, one, you cannot, it's garbage. You cannot turn fat into muscle. What people are really trying to say, they're really trying to say is like, I'm trying to just lose the body fat I have so the muscle that I do have can show and I can have a ripped, lean physique. But you can't turn body fat into muscle, because if that was the case, everybody who's walking around here morbidly obese would be have shredded physiques once they started working out. That's not the case, okay? Again, fat loss comes down to three things: calories, macros, and activities. I'm going to always repeat this. I'm never going to not say it, is because a lot of people are so confused about what actually causes fat loss, and it comes down to those three things. But even with that, you can't turn fat into muscle. It's a process of you losing body fat and revealing that the muscle mass that you already have. So a way to kind of get that result is, I like to do full compound body exercises. So squats, deadlifts, bench press, and then again, being in a calorie deficit while getting enough protein. All right. But there's more myths that I've heard, and with the popularization, I don't know if I said that right, but the popularization of like carnivore, keto diets, a lot of people have been coming at carbs like they're just evil. So I want to get into myth number 3 is that carbs make you fat or carbs are bad for you. So I'll put it this way. Now, depending if like someone's diabetic, I'm not even going to get into the realm because I'm not a medical professional. Like you may have to restrict carbs if that's the condition that you have. But for everybody else, carbs don't make you fat. Carbs do not, I'm going to say it again, carbs do not make you fat. Let me tell you something. When I was 250, I got started with the whole keto thing, but I couldn't stick to it, so I didn't continue to do it. So a lot of people tend to love keto and carnivore because they say, I do it and I get results. But you're getting results because you cut out like a large portion of your diet, which was carbs, which made you reduce your calorie intake, which then caused you to lose weight. So it wasn't the fact that the carbs are bad. What it was is that you just reduced the amount of calories you intake in a day. So I'm saying this to say that I don't want people who thinking that they have to lose weight, they have to do these diets, and they have to then be so restrictive that they can't enjoy life anymore. Let me tell you something. I went from this to this, and I still enjoy carbs. I still enjoy carbs now. You get what I mean? And I still continue to get results as well. Why is that? Because I understand that my calorie intake for the day, I understand my macronutrients, and I understand the amount of activity that's needed to kind of keep me in a caloric deficit. Whether I eat more calories or less calories, I fully understand that. And that's why I make this type of video, so you guys can have the framework. Because if someone's telling you, oh yes, cut out all carbs, it's a simple way of like trying to get you in a calorie deficit. But the problem with that is that you won't be able to stick to it long term. And if you can't stick to it long term, it's something that does not work. I don't care if you lose 15 pounds on it, but if you lose 15 pounds and then gain 20 pounds, because you had to go back to it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not conducive for your life. It's not set up for you to win. And this is where you have to understand. I talked about in my other videos. If you want to attack fat loss, you have to develop skills of like meal selection and understanding food. And this is why I believe tracking is so important, because you can understand, oh, I can't have this cookie, this chocolate chip cookie and this ice cream, because I'm still within my calories for the day. I didn't have to cut that out completely. So this is why it's important. Again, myth 3, carbs make you fat. It's garbage. Don't listen to it. It's not true. Going down to myth number 4, this is one I've actually made. Myth number 4 is that you have to cut out all junk food or anything that you enjoy in order to get results. This is a half truth. And when I say this is a half truth, because depending on your discipline level, this can be true for you. In the beginning, I loved Lay's potato chips, the wavy kind. If y'all ever see them in the store, the big red bag, family size, I can crush the whole bag by myself, guaranteed nonstop. So in the beginning, this was kind of true for me. So I'm not going to say this is garbage. I'm going to say it's kind of nonsense, though. I'm not going to say it's garbage. But in the beginning, this was kind of true for me because I kind of had to stop like eating chips because I haven't developed the skill sets of meal selection yet to understand, okay, what's a healthier alternative than this? Because once I start eating the chips, I'm not going to stop. So if that's you in the beginning, you're in your fat loss journey, you're in the beginning phases, and like tortilla chips or cookies or whatever is your weakness, then I would say this is kind of true. Like you may just need to remove the temptation away from you altogether and start to build some discipline up in terms of making the right food choice. Then once you start to see like, okay, I can kind of have some consistency, then you can kind of go back to that. But the reason why I'm saying this is nonsense is because it puts you in a frame of mind of I can't have it. Okay, and eventually what's going to happen is you're going to cave and you're going to go back to it and you're going to start to go off the rails again. Again, my whole thing here, I make these videos, I want you guys to take this advice so you don't have to deal with the yo-yo effect of losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. I want you to build an effective fat loss plan for yourself that is sustainable. So if you know you like chips, how about we can incorporate that into your meal plan. We could probably incorporate that into your meal plan. As long as we're getting enough protein, enough calories, eating a calorie deficit and activities right, we can probably incorporate the cookies, the chips, the ice creams in there so you're not depriving yourself. So I don't believe now, understanding how this works now, I don't believe that you have to cut out all things. It's actually going to make it worse because when you rebound and go back to eating that stuff, you're going to binge eat and you're going to gain the weight back. Another myth that is just like, it's a half truth. I'm going to say this is a half truth, but I kind of feel like this is garbage too. I'm going to say the myth number 5 is doing endless cardio to get fat loss results. So if you look at stories like David Goggins and stuff like that, like these stories are inspiring. And then for him, he did like endless cardio, and you look at all these people who lost weight and stuff like that. You can do that. I'm not knocking you. If you feel like you need to run 5 miles a day because you just want to, get a shredded physique, I'm not going to knock you. I will tell you this. There's an easier way to do it, okay? Now, if you just want to push yourself to see if you can do the 5 miles, then knock yourself out. Go ahead, bro. But there's an easier way to do things, and it's not by doing endless cardio. The reason why I say not doing endless cardio is because that certain types of cardio can increase your hunger cravings. Okay, and this is a thing that a lot of people don't realize, because I know, like when I first wanted to lose weight, I was doing interval sprints, so they worked for a little bit. But the problem was, like, after doing the sprints, I'm starving, like I'm hungry, I want to eat. So I'm creating more problems for myself than I need to. So let's just say like this. Let's paint a picture. You're in the beginning of your fat loss journey. Okay, you really don't have that much information. You're trying to follow all this garbage advice online. So you just start running. Okay, so that's good. You're being more active. You're running. But the problem is, like, you haven't developed the meal selection skill yet. And then when you get hungry, you eat what's available, and you still may have unhealthy food around you. Okay, so let's just say if you burn 400 calories, really you burn like 300 calories doing the run, but then you're so like hungry afterwards that you end up consuming like 800 to 900 calories after the 300 calorie run. You get what I mean? You do the run in the morning, and now we're midday. We already consume 900 calories. You still got lunch, you still got snack, you still got dinner, and you still got your late night snack. Okay. Yeah, you burn some calories, but then it pushes you over your limit, and then now we're fighting against ourselves. Our workout is working against us. So cardio is good. I think that the easier cardio to do is the natural stuff that we already do, which is walking. Okay, walking is a natural activity that you already do. You walk to the car to go drive to the drive-through. You walk into an unhealthy restaurant to go eat that fast food. You walk out of there. So all we want to do is increase our step count. I like doing this in the gym. Anybody who've ever watched me, my secret formula for fat loss, if you're going to do an activity, is 10 incline, 3.1 miles an hour on the treadmill. That's the only cardio I do. And I do that for 45 to 50 minutes. You burn 450 to 500 calories per session. I'm chilling though. I got Netflix playing, headphones on, and I'm just walking, and it's an easy thing for me. I don't think about it when I get off. I'm not starving. I don't feel like I need to eat a whole rhino in order to recoup from the workout, and I can do it again the next day, and I can do that 7 days a week without being exhausted. So it's not considered endless cardio. What I'm saying is that you want to do certain types of cardio. You want to do certain types of cardio. You want to do low intensity cardio. So I guess I said all that to say you want to do low intensity cardio when picking any type of like cardio activity. Running the miles, running 5, 6, 7 miles a day and stuff like that for losing body fat is counterproductive. You're working against yourself. All that activity, your body's going to require more fuel to do that activity, which then could cause you to eat more. But walking is a natural thing we do every day. So this is why I say, again, walking is going to be the best thing. So I hope these little tips help. These are 5 fat loss myths that aren't necessarily true, but you hear a lot. Guys, it comes down to this, though. If you are looking to burn body fat and like have a shredded physique and have your six-pack showing, guys, the main thing is going to come down to your calories and your macros, which all encompasses your food. It's going to come down to the food that you eat. The activity is going to be last. It's very important. It is important, but not as important as mastering the food, mastering your eating. It does not mean you need to restrict yourself. It does not mean that you can't have carbs. It does not mean that you have to hate the process. I watched this video the other day, listened to some shredded bodybuilders talking about if you're not hungry all the time, then you're not going to get lean. I don't understand. That's nonsense too. Okay, eat in a calorie deficit, consume enough protein. It's going to satiate your stomach, going to keep you full. In the activity, you can do any workout plan that you want to. I just say incorporate some walking, 40 minutes of walking a day in there. It's really easy, and then you will see results. The only way that you won't see results is if you down in like a bunch of oil, butters, and all these other sneaky snacks that you're not tracking in there. So I hope these tips help. Stay tuned for more videos.